Have you ever seen something so violent and vulgar that you couldn't bear seeing this something anymore? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this exact situation happened to nearly 5 million people back in 2016 with the premiere of The Walking Dead Season 7. Now, if you haven't seen this episode, or have never seen this show, the episodes show very realistic clips of some of the show's most beloved characters, Glenn and Abraham, getting their skulls bashed in by Negan, who is a psychotic leader of the Saviors, which is essentially a group of male adult bullies that are highly hypocritical and confusing. Now, these clips have a duration of more than 3 minutes, but watching them feels like it will never stop. This scene was devastating for me, and evidently I was not the only Walking Dead fan who felt disgusted that two of my favorite characters were killed off in such an unpleasant way. Now, why am I not the only one who was affected negatively? Well, 4 episodes into Season 7, the show's views dropped from 17 million to 12.5 million, as said Forbes article, The Walking Dead toning down its violence after Season 7 complaints. There was a high amount of speculation as to if The Walking Dead would ever return to its same view count. Because of this, The Walking Dead producers took note of what was going on with the fan base and came out with a statement a few weeks after the premiere. Gail Ann Hurd said, "We were able to look at the feedback on the level of violence. But did they really tone down the violence? Well, there hasn't been any visuals as violent as the one in the Season 7 premiere. So the community that wanted the show less violent were granted their wishes. Although the other half of the fans, who were probably more interested in the Walking Dead universe, were outraged, as they believed the show needed the violence for the realism. For example, the YouTuber TrevsChan2 and many others believe that there needs to be violence in the show to make it as realistic as possible. The show also needs this excessive violence to complement the comic books. A great example of this would be Glenn's death in the show being very accurate to the comic book images in issue 100. Now, I will agree that the show does need violence in it, but not on the extreme level as seen in episode 1 of Season 7. It's just excessive. Seeing something as graphic as this at the age of 14 was definitely not the most flattering thing. From my point of view, violence up to that point was tolerable, with the occasional death scene that may be on the verge of being unwatchable. But even so, it's not like I had a problem with any of the images shown up till that point. Even the most disgusting looking walkers, like the Well Walker, or Sophia as a walker, weren't too much, and I believe this is because, in these cases, the characters of the show treated the situation much differently. Unlike with the Negan deaths, the characters all had to watch what was happening and suffer as much as the ones dying, not to mention the fact that midway through Glenn's death, he attempted to say a few final words to his wife Maggie. It just felt wrong, and to see someone go through something like that, you can't help but feel sympathetic towards her. As discussed in the Vulture.com article, Empty Violence of the Walking Dead, it's not the gore, but the sensibility. This statement is exactly where I stand with the episode. Now, I believe the producer of the show should have shown less of the emotional side of the scene and made it less of a harsh death, rather than prolonging the violence and terror. For future reference, I believe the producers should accommodate the viewers with a censored and uncensored version of the episode, so that everyone can enjoy watching the show with their own tastes. Thank you.